On His Way Home by Enid Blyton. "That's all for tonight," said the choir master. "Richard, you sang better than ever. You've got more music in you than all the others here put together. I wish you could give them a little." Richard didn't even hear what the choir master said. He was dreaming as usual, thinking out tunes he could put to some of the carols they had been practicing for Christmas week. Richard's dreaming of the time when he's grown up and sings at concerts all over the world and makes more money than he'll know what to do with, said one of the boys, who was jealous of Richard. The choir master looked at the dreamy Richard. He was certain that the boy would become famous when he grew up. He lived for his music and his singing, and what's more, he worked hard at it too. "Yes," he said, "Richard will be richer than any of us. He won't be able to help it, but let's hope he'll think of others besides himself when success and wealth come to him." Richard was the last to go home, he always was, but at last he went out of the church and looked up at the frosty sky full of stars. As he turned a corner, he heard the sound of a violin, and he stopped. It was a cheap violin, but how beautifully it was being played. The player spoilt it, though, by trying to sing to the melody. Richard looked at him. He was an old, dirty fellow with straggly grey hair and stained, ragged clothes. His voice was hoarse and cracked as he tried to sing the lovely old carols. People laughed at him. 2 boys sent a stone skimming down the road at him. No one threw a penny in the shabby hat put down at the man's feet. "What a horrible noise," said people passing by. "We would give him a penny to go away, but no money for his dreadful singing." Richard was struck by the man's playing. A poor cheap violin, but how marvellously played. He went up to the man. "I like the way you play," he said. "You play gloriously." The old man took his bow from the strings and peered at the boy. "I once had a famous name," he said. "I played all over Europe. Now I'm a poor old beggar man scraping a cheap violin, and I can't earn a penny. Not a penny for a meal, not a penny for a bit of fire or a warm coat. But it's done me good to have a boy come and tell me I can still play. Can you play too?" "Oh, I can sing," said Richard. "I'll sing to your violin, if you like. Play the tunes of the old carols, and I'll sing for you. Perhaps you'll get some money if I sing and you play." The old man put his violin under his chin again. The first few notes of "Peaceful Night" came stealing out on the night air. Richard lifted his head. "Peaceful night, holy night," he sang, his voice as pure as an angel's. The old man stared in amazement and delight. What a voice! Ah, this boy was a pleasure to play for. Violin and voice mingled, and people passing by stopped suddenly. Who was this singing? Who was it playing? 2 masters of music, surely. But under the light of the lamppost they saw only a young boy and an old and dirty beggar. The little crowd gathered round, listening in silence. The choir master came by on his way home, astonished by the voice, unable to believe it could be Richard's. The carol came to an end. Pennies, sixpences, and shillings poured into the hat. Richard looked down at the old hat in delight. What a lot of money! The beggar ran his bow gently over the strings again. "Noel, Noel," sang the strings, and Richard's voice joined in, clear and lovely to hear in the dark, frosty night. The crowd joined in at the end of each verse, and once more the money rained down into the old hat. Then a policeman loomed up apologetically. "Sorry, but you must move on," he said. The crowd sighed. Ah, what a pity! They had never heard carols they enjoyed more. Richard picked up the heavy hat and gave it to the old man. "There must be enough here to buy you all you want this Christmas week," he said. "I'm glad." "Take half," said the beggar, but Richard pushed the hat away. "No, I couldn't take money for singing to your lovely playing. You have it all." The boy ran home, humming a carol tune under his breath. The old man looked after him, and the choir master heard him muttering to himself, "Ah, you'll be a great musician one day, my boy, and you'll be a great man too. You won't only think of your music, you'll think of your fellow man." And off went the old man with his pockets full of money, the first money that Richard had ever earned. Good luck to you, Richard. You've begun the right way. Merry Christmas, everyone.